Hey guys, and welcome to my next video. Today, we're just gonna do a quick pre or post ride mobility routine, specifically for cyclists. So if you are a triathlete or bike rider, this is a great workout for you. So again, you can use it I would just take a quick glance at your bike workout that's been prescribed to you, or think about how you're gonna ride today, whether that's easy or interval based, and just kind of think, do I need activation before I ride, or is this something that will serve me better to increase my resilience and my mobility after riding, to help with my recovery for my next workout, whether that's later in the day or the next workout the next day or something like that. So the primary areas that I want to touch on are going to be the lower back, the glutes, and the hips, because again, when you're on your bike, you're typically in a pretty cramped position, and a lot of you probably work a job that requires you to be sitting at some point or driving in your car. So we really want to focus on opening up the hips. So let's start with that. And I hope that I have a good area here. Please forgive me if not. My biking area, I wanted to do this in an authentic area, and my biking area is narrow. So I'm just going to pop to the ground and start with a basic hip stretch. The quads are typically pretty tight because a lot of cycling is very quad and glute dominant. So let's go ahead and just pop down onto one knee, and then go ahead and lean onto the front leg. So you can just place both hands there if you'd like. And you want to feel this stretch kind of in your hip flexor, this pocket muscle here. The back leg can kind of do whatever it wants. And let's just hold this for 30 seconds. This is a static stretch, which means it's not going to move a lot. And again, just because I bring up, a certain muscle group doesn't mean you're not also using like your hamstrings and your calves and even your arm muscles at certain points. But we're really talking in general about the heavy hitters of cycling today. So take a couple deep breaths. Again, doing some deep inhale and exhalations before you ride or after your ride can really help prepare your mind and your body, or recover your mind and body. Okay, let's try the other side. And for those of you new to the page, I'm a coach, and these workouts go to my athletes. So I will be doing a lot of talking and instructing. So just prepare yourself for that. Okay, other side. So again, just kind of get into a position where you can do a forward leaning lunge. You don't need a lot of space. Obviously, I'm working with a very small area here. Just a forward lunge, kneeling, feeling this muscle stretch out, and taking some deep breaths. So our goals today are really flexibility and mobility related, because no strength training specific to cycling today. We'll save that for another workout. So really flexibility and mobility related. Great. All right. Go ahead and stand. And we're going to do a lower back and hamstring stretch. And it's going to start with a forward bend, a static forward bend. And we're going to make that a wide leg forward bend with some neck and back mobility. So just a regular forward bend, feet together. And some of you might have really tight hamstrings and lower back. So you might need to do more here. You might need a little soft bend in the knee. Where you want to be feeling it here is in the back of your legs and in the lower back. If you can ground your hands, great. But again, we're kind of focused on 30 seconds. Duration here. One more deep breath. Great. Slowly come up. And now what we're going to do is just a wider forward bend. You're going to go down into your stretch, and you don't have to be touching the ground. You could be here, but what we're going to do within that is we're going to look forward, and then we're going to look back down and type it in with our breath. We're going to do this 5 times. Inhale, look up. Exhale down. And try not to put any excess strain on the neck, but we do want to work on mobility. Inhale up, in the neck, in the spine, in the hamstrings, and the glutes. Exhale down. 3 more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last one. Inhale up. Exhale, relax. Awesome. Next, we're going to be doing a standing figure 4 stretch, and this one requires a little bit of balance. So you can hold on to something like a wall, or if there's something next to you. But if you can do this without holding on anything, that's usually ideal. But I just don't want you falling all over the place. What we're going to do is grab our knee and our ankle, and we're going to hold. And you can make that stretch as deep as you'd like, but I do want you to support the knee and the ankle. And we are stretching out this. Ooh, I need to stop turning while I do this. The glute, the hip. 30 seconds. We've already been going for a little while, but take some deep breaths here. This does kind of fall in the stability bucket as well because you have to be balanced. If you need to hold on to something, maybe just hold on to the middle of the knee there and hold, because I don't want you wobbling. I want you to focus on increasing your flexibility here. Great. Okay, let's try the other side now. Grab the knee and the ankle. If you're like me and you're doing this after a workout, you might feel like your muscles are tired and you're a little wobbly, and that's okay. And then as you kind of go through the workout, you might find your body opening up a little bit more. So maybe you'll be able to stretch a little bit deeper, especially if you really take some deep inhales and exhales. Again, our goal for any stretch is 30 seconds or 30 seconds per side. Awesome. Okay, we're going to head back to the ground now. Just make a little bit more space here. Okay. We're going to do some cat and cow mobility for the spine, and then some more stretches, more mobility. So when we look up, we're kind of tilting the chin up, and then the spine kind of does the opposite, kind of inverts closer, and you're tilting your hips towards the ground. So your chin and your hips go opposite directions. Arms are flat on the ground. And then we're going to we're going to tuck the chin and roll the pelvis back, and just like a cat, a hissing cat. Let's do a few rounds of this. Let's try for 5. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Great. Okay, now I'm going to show you 2 ways to do the next stretch. Like I mentioned earlier, the quads do get really tight with cycling, or I mean just a lot of things. It doesn't have to be just cycling. So if you are limber and youthful or just have the mobility to do this, you might want to place something underneath the knee. But we're basically going to do that same stretch from before, now that we're a little bit more opened up. But we're going to grab the ankle as we go into our kneeling lunge. And like, I'm lucky I had this right in front of me, but you could also use a wall. Now, this position isn't going to be possible for some people. So if you're able to do this, great. Get into that position and start your stretching. Others, you might need to stand up and go to a wall, place your back foot on it, and just lower down into a standing quadricep stretch against a wall. Or as a last resort, you can do a standing quadricep stretch. But I think this is even better. Like, some people can't even grab the ankle, right? So just pause the video, prop yourself up against a wall, and from the side it would look like this. Quad stretch. Great. 30 seconds total. So if you're on the ground doing the kneeling version, let's switch sides. When I'm in a public location, like at a pool, where the ground is like really hard, not carpeting or whatever, I will do the wall stretch, and I like the variation there. So awesome. Cool. All right, and then we're going to do one of my absolute favorite mobility exercises, and that's called the tripod extension. I did this with a lot of my swim team kids back when I coached dryland and performance work for swimmers, sport athletes, football, basketball, background in that too. With cycling, the reason why I like this for cycling, you don't get any rotation or lateral movement other than when you're rocking your bike side to side, obviously like sprint or get up out of the saddle to go up a hill. So it's important to train rotation into the spine because a lot of times you're kind of hunched over on your drops or an arrow position. So you're getting this position in your lower back. And we're just prone to that as a society, right? We're just kind of brings us, hunches us forward. So we need to open everything up, open up the chest, open up the hips. So we're going to do a tripod extension to tie all this together. You rotate through your spine. So you're just going to put one hand behind you. Legs can be just 90 degrees. You can bring it a little closer if you're feeling a little bit more flexible. Bring your legs out if you're feeling really stiff. And all you're going to do is reach this hand, go straight up towards the sky. You don't reach your hand rotating at all. You'll naturally rotate as you go through this. And you're going to drive your hips into extension. So you come into this awesome reverse tabletop and then come back down. All right, so let's try that on the other side. We're just going to switch sides every time. Place the hand behind you. Drive the hips, open up, stretch through the spine, come on down. So it's hips, it's glutes, it's spine, it's a little bit of shoulder mobility, shoulder stability. Great. So let's rock and roll with that. We'll do 10 from here. 10, 9, 8, 7, and just feel your body kind of opening up as you do this. It's really beautiful. Let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. And now one more, because I don't want this to be too long. I want this to be something that you can turn to really easily if you're like, ugh, I really do not feel like stretching or doing mobility. I really do not feel like riding and need to stall for a little bit longer. So we're going to do a 90-90 stretch and some 90-90 switches. And this will be your last one for the day. So we'll end with this nice hip mobility exercise, especially now that we've stretched everything out. So like the name indicates, 90 degrees in the front leg, 90 degrees in the back leg. I'm small, so I can fit into this area. You might need a little bit bigger of an area, and that's fine. So we're just going to start with the 90-degree stretch here, and sometimes it's helpful if people have a pillow and they can sit on that for the stretch because this might already be pretty aggressive on people's knees and hips. So we'll start with the stretch first, and if you're able to move forward into the stretch, awesome. Or even kind of like in pigeon where you lay down here, which is terrifying to me because I can see all the sweat and spit and vomit pieces now I'm getting on my floor. Okay, then we'll just go to the other side and do that stretch. Again, you hold for, if you're not doing seconds or counting or looking at a clock or whatever, 5 breaths is always a good rule of thumb. I can for sure feel that this side is a little tighter for me, so I'm going to stay upright. But if you want to lean forward, or if you want to reach forward, if you want to put your hands on like an ottoman or your couch and get a little lat stretch in there, I love that for you. And once we finish on this side, what we're going to do is place our hands behind us and try to keep our glutes rooted to the ground. And this might mean kind of scooching your legs out a little bit more. But we're just going to do some switches side to side. Like I said, tight space for me. I wanted to kind of just knock this out for me personally. Would not have done this had I showered, eaten, etc. So not that it's bad to shower and eat right after your workout, but I really, I needed this recovery today. So thanks for joining me. And yeah, I just wanted to knock this out. I don't usually film workouts in here for this reason. All right, let's do one more on each side. And it just popped into my head. I forgot my lateral exercise. So sorry to give you false hope. Let's go ahead and stand up, which is a great way to end this workout anyways. Like I mentioned before, rotational work and side to side work, we don't get that in cycling really at all. So we'll finish with a lateral leg raise, and this will put us right at 15 minutes. So that's perfect. I'll stand in a way where you can see me. It's okay to hold on to something here. This doesn't have to be a balance exercise. We want to target the lateral glutes here specifically, so you can hold on to something, and we're just going to do a side leg raise. If you were here for my last workout, I accidentally kicked my dog while doing this. Great exercise. You can also try a variation where you bend the leg and do like the fire hydrant version. All right, so either leg bent or leg straight. Let's do 10 per side, and then you're ready to either rock and roll with the rest of your night or get on your bike and crush your workout. So here we go, 10 per side. If you're doing this without holding on to anything, get your core together and keep your shoulders stacked over your hips so that the target muscles have to do all the work. Here's 4. Here's 5. It's really nice doing this up against the wall because you can't cheat. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Cool. Other side. Again, holding onto something completely fine. Okay, this is a mobility glute kind of strength bucket exercise. If I wanted to work on stability, I would maybe choose a different exercise. So if holding onto something helps you have an increased mobility and enhances your strength focus, then I would choose that for you. Okay, so let's do 4 more. Inhale, exhale for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Thanks so much for joining me here in my training area. I do not call this my pain cave. I prefer to have a more positive outlook. This is my training sanctuary. I love the space. But I have laughed and cried in here as well. So I hope that you have an equally positive environment to train in. I wish you the best if you're about to hop on your bike and crush your workout. And if you're done for the evening like me, I hope that you can go through it peacefully. And I will see you guys next week. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Coach Becca, and I'll see you guys next time.